right, go sit down. Go sit down somewhere. Thank you. So we can do our show. All right, let's do it. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I am Monty Draper.
I am LG.
Lex B.U.B.
And glad to be back another week, man. Fellas, what's going on? Talk to me.
What's going on, man?
Another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Ain't that the truth?
Are y'all looking forward to Coming to America 2 or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I wasn't looking forward to I got the hookup too. But Coming to America 2 for sure.
L coming out fire.
Why are we starting the show like this, bro? Why on earth would you compare Coming to America and I Got the Hookup, G? Seriously?
I don't know. Part 2s, bro. Just trying to see what y'all
Oh my gosh. Coming to America and I Got the Hookup are nowhere in the same stratosphere. Although I Got the Hookup 1 is like criminally underrated. Like,
yes, it is.
Seriously.
It is.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying.
So
if we talk about part 2s that are highly anticipated, that one fell flat. So I'm looking forward to.
Who was
I
anticipating?
was about to ask you, who you hanging around that was just like, nigga, with this I Got the Hookup 2 come out?
Bro, they couldn't wait, man. They got every internet sensation on there, bro. So like,
there was no way that was anticipated. Coming to America is supposed to be loaded cast wise, though. What do we think?
there's hella people on there. Yeah.
Star-studded casts like that. They don't make you nervous.
The first one didn't it have a whole bunch of?
But they weren't.
They weren't stars yet.
They weren't stars yet. Yeah, exactly. They weren't stars yet.
Yeah, but I think Eddie has such a comedic genius that I think it should carry over to the rest of them, because I don't think he's gonna put like the space he's in right now. I don't think he'll put out a terrible.
See, I was excited until he did SNL, because it was like Dave was visibly rusty on his appearance on SNL, but the sketches were still hilarious. Eddie, I think one of those sketches might have been okay.
Yeah,
that made me concerned, but then Dolomite came out and I was like, all right, I'm not worried no more. So now I'm back to looking forward to it. But when SNL came out, I was nervous.
Yeah, no, SNL Eddie was not I don't think that's what's on Coming to America.
Yeah.
At all.
And on top of that, Coming to America is like one of his babies, and he ain't gonna just.
No, I know. Dolomite's my name is amazing. So I'm here for it. I just was that SNL shit made me nervous, bro. And
SNL is not funny to me.
I was gonna say when we gonna have a real conversation about SNL?
Yeah, that's
like
right
now. I don't know.
In the moment,
SNL been getting away with murder
for a long time.
For at least the last 15 years, they've gotten away with murder.
Who 15 years?
Well, they broke that original talent, and then, well, they didn't really break them. The talent was just that crazy, and they gave them the platform. But it hasn't. I think it comes down to the talent. So like,
is Eddie the original class?
Yeah. Like,
is there a class before him, or is Eddie the first class?
No, that'd be Eddie, and then
Chevy Chase and all them. Like they were loaded. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because then it started being wasn't like Jim Carrey and them like a part of it?
Jim Carrey is
on the other one.
In Living Color.
In Living Color, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Oh shit.
No,
I really don't give a shit about SNL.
And that's a cast. That's like a Hall of Fame classes, head to head. Who wins that? Like you get to pick your best 10
in that era.
No. Just pick your best 10 Hall of Fame classes in Living Color versus SNL. Who wins that? How did we get here? But I'm glad we're here. This is like, now I'm fascinated by it.
I think if it was like a battle where it was teams where each person had to come to bat for contribute, then I would say in Living Color by far.
But if we're going celeb status,
but SNL has stratosphere talents, like
Eddie.
But that ain't got nothing to do with SNL though. So
Eddie, Will Ferrell, Chris Farley,
the dude from Office, wasn't he on there?
Not Steve Carell. Hell,
he wasn't on there.
Eddie, Will Ferrell, Chris Farley. Is Dan Aykroyd SNL? He is, ain't he?
Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's a stupid battle. That's dumb. I forget. You forget Adam Sandler for whatever reason, in that pantheon, and then you go fucking. What's Brett at? His wife ended up killing him. He was fucking hilarious. Why can't I think of his name?
Was it Todd? He also did the voice on The Simpsons too, right?
Did he? Did he?
Yeah, he did. He was the album. He was the. You might remember me from such films as I can't.
Damn, I can't remember. But he was in the Sinbad movie, House Guest. Mm-hmm. Damn, I can't think of his name.
Oh, do it like the deep voice.
It is a deep, yeah, super deep voice.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Chevy.
I didn't know his wife killed him.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that story is really sad. I don't know why I can't think of his name, but they.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Blank Check.
Why was I thinking that?
My mind is scattered. But yeah, go ahead.
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman's hilarious, bro. Phil Hartman. And we're forgetting hella A-list names.
Tina Fey.
All right, never mind. I'm not gonna do this on camera with y'all. No, I'm not.
That was one of Monty's top 5 for the women's side.
Get the fuck out of here. Let's pivot. Anyway, another pseudo social distancing week. You gentlemen have worked through the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So, has anything changed for y'all at all? Like optics, operation, has anything changed for y'all day to day up until this point? Because now we're in week whatever, day whatever, month whatever, and trying to get a gauge of what's what for everybody.
Not necessarily for me, but I can definitely say things have changed for like people, because you can tell like. We're going to get into that topic, but people having to work from home has really done a number on their on their mental, and then not being able to have like the necessary outlets to like let that shit out. It's been like they're like walking combustible, things around here, bro. Like the way that they communicate with you, bro, about the smallest of things. It's just it becomes such a large deal. So that's more so what it is. 'Cause I think right now it's not so much for my particular situation. My thing is more so just managing people, because that's what I got to deal with on the daily. Is just like what they can come up with, because they've gone all the way back to becoming children all over again in a way, where like you got to tell them no, don't do that. I understand you're stressed right now, but like you get a grip on yourself, or like you're stop being selfish in this moment. This is a selfless act. These type of things is like very minuscule ideas that you have to come up with, but like you still have to communicate these to people who know these things already, but they don't give a shit right now.
Damn.
Like all that stuff is out the window, bro. I hear you, I understand, but also I don't give a shit. This is happening to me right now, and it's just like, damn, that's crazy. All right, well, I guess we'll do this again tomorrow then.
Well, what is it? Because I'm trying not to generalize it. I seen something about generalizing race and people, and then how small the groups are of people that are doing certain things. How much of this is a cultural thing to watch what the stress and the panic and the lack of and being manipulated for ultimately watching people sort of crumble under that, and how they displace their anger and their rage, and it kind of expect you to understand. So we're in the store the other day, and the rules are what they are now. There's only so few people in the store at the time. There's only so many registers open. So now it's just these long ass lines when you get to the register, and because
people having to spread out their shifts.
Yeah, because it's like you come to expect it. You don't really trip. So standing in line, and this old she was old too, y'all. So that was that old white lady. She goes to her, and then it was funny because it was like the equivalent of white on white crime. So I was so happy.
You put up a chair?
What? Nigga almost opened my bag of chips in the line. Like, look at here. This is fascinating.
With that Martin?
Why was Martin eating them chips? But gee,
bro, that investigating episode, bro, was the best. Go ahead, man.
So she slides on white breath, because she had to be like late 70s, early 80s possibly, and dude she was talking to was like late 50s, early 60s potentially. So an age gap, but And she goes, is this the only line? And bro was like, not here for it at all. It was like, I don't know. Like, just completely dismissed her. I don't know. And she saw once she said that he wasn't here for the bullshit. Mm-hmm. She goes, yeah, because my brother made me this mask, but it's hella thick, so I'm losing air and I'm turning white if you can't tell. And she was like, pale. And I was like, damn, she pale. She goes, they either going to have to check my groceries out fast or get me an ambulance. And I was like, wait, what's going on? And she's like, I can't breathe. And she's telling bro she can't breathe. And he like, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to get out the store. I'm like watching this all unfold. And of course, the good Samaritan citizen walks by, another old white lady just is like, oh my gosh, you can't breathe? Let's figure this out. So she makes a scene and is like trying to get all the workers. And a few of the workers come running. And the one dude is just like, hey, are y'all ready? And mind you, we like 3 people back in line. Like, It's not our turn. But everybody's so concerned about her. He's like, are y'all ready? We like, yeah. He like, bet, come on.
Real response, bro.
And he's like, bro, I done seen some crazy shit in these last few weeks, but somebody faking about to pass out to get their groceries checked is insane. He's like, I'm not here for it at all. But this is all white people dealing with each other. And I was like, this is brilliant, bro. Yeah. Like, not a black person in sight for this whole transaction. This is like, all right. This is how y'all giving it up.
Completely.
She was willing to fake pass out. It's like, so they're like, do you need oxygen? You want to step outside? She's like, no, I just need y'all to check my groceries out. It's like, so you dying, but you just need your groceries. That shit was so funny, bro. Like but it's I thought that was hilarious because what people tend to do in these situations is sort of disregard what everyone's going through. It's like,
completely.
Like, you're the only one that's struggling. Like, you're the only one that's having a hard time. Like, that's not really how this works. Like, everybody's fucked up right now. What makes your plight that much more advanced than the next person's?
Bro, the people that can get to the bottom of that the quickest, like the earliest possible getting to the bottom of that part is the people that are going to survive. You know what I mean? Because I'm already anticipating some people just ain't gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't got nothing to do with Corona. Like, bro, y'all just not gonna make it, bro, because common sense ain't coming. And the more you fall back into being a selfish individual towards other people, you know what I mean? Like, not understanding what other folks are going through, just thinking about what your potential situation is the worse off you're going to be, say, when this whole thing changes and people get back to not giving a fuck about it. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to build up a dependency that's so high in this moment where you think that people are supposed to listen to you. Facts. Because everybody's so worried about your health and all this stuff like that. Like, you're gonna get to a point where things switch. And you ain't gonna be able to switch back because you didn't build this up for yourself this entire time. So I really got a theory on folks who, like, you have 2 folks. You have the people that just aren't doing well right now, and then you have the folks that are doing well because they are building up a routine for themselves to get through this. But to go to another spot is that, okay, you built up this routine during these restrictions. What happens when these restrictions are taken away? Are you still doing those necessary things that you were doing during this time where everything slowed down in order to build upon something further, like to keep that discipline going further? You know what I mean? And that's my thought process in it. Is like, are you going to be able to do that going forward? That's
gonna be the part.
That's gonna be the differentiator right there.
And in the most complex part of it for me, because there's so many people that I'll talk to and be like, yo, I'd never say this in person, but I'm having the time of my life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I could see that. You're free. Your bandwidth is like not tethered to no crazy shit. You're not sitting in traffic every day. You're not commuting amongst fucking insane people. You don't have all this extra shit going on. And then 9 times out of 10, it ain't even about no money shit. What they're referring to, they're just referring to the peace of mind to engage with things that feel beneficial to their being.
Presence, man.
And I think the hardest part is like when they flip the switch back on the world, will people just disregard all these things that they uncovered about themselves in this moment, whether it be more family time, more outside activities as a group. Like watching, like, shout out to DB. We were interacting with DB on live and on him before this, but watching DB with his family damn near every day has been some of the most inspirational shit. Like Black Dad, like just trying, like giving it up in a modern way that we ain't really seen a Black dad before that's closer to us in age. He's got a son that's in that real important phase of high school, trying to figure it out. So the conversations are different, and I tell him all the time like how much I respect that shit. Same with Kevin, like all the homies that are dad. I hung out with Dill and them last night, and his girls, like they got a whole different routine that's centered around presence for the family structure, and sort of rewriting and redefining what that looks like. And the rat race, so to speak, kind of takes away from that. And for whatever reason, we can get so consumed by it where the routine you talk about, G, it goes out. It's the first thing to go. The routine is the first fucking thing to go. Whether it's your workout hype, if you read, if you meditate, whatever. The second, the stressors of having to sustain a lifestyle, the things that make you happiest get sacrificed first. So I'm curious to see if what we've uncovered about ourselves, if we just throw that shit out the window once it's back cracking again with the allure of making money. And to my knowledge, and I could have this completely wrong, and maybe the struggle just hasn't been bad enough for me. Like I'm even open to that conversation. Mm-hmm. But money ain't really the value that we put on money prior to this has always been unsettling. Mm-hmm. We staying in the COVID realm. One thing I forgot to put on our list was, when we've talked about it before, but are we still gonna operate with the disillusion that YouTube is free form media or no? Can we finally put that to bed now? Like, are we good? We good with, like, YouTube is not free form media, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that shit. Cause just watching it, it's like, oh, cause we've all sort of pivoted to, like, a lot of our human interaction is through the lens of YouTube, bro. Like, whether we even define it that way or not, but YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that shit is regulated. Mm-hmm. Like, and again, I'm not arguing for the lobbyist and like the insane propaganda. I'm not even here for that, for real. But what the amendment by amendment is just like, fuck out of here. Like, who gives a fuck what you to the point where we're gonna look up and all of our rights are gonna be gone. And the black Americans and our relationship to the amendments as a whole is unique, because they've always not really applied to us, but kind of applied to us for real, and niggas are aware of them, but they don't really apply to us for real. And how many cases for the First Amendment, for the Second Amendment, for the 13th have been lost over time and time again, where it's just like, by the letter of the law, this is what it is, and then, like, and to someone's discretion is like, fuck out of here. You don't have access to those rights. Mm-hmm. So to watch it happen with content and what's happening with Hollywood, like, that's why I sent you that video, that roundtable. They do the actors on actors roundtable thing, and it's become my favorite thing to watch on YouTube. Like, because I really like the creators' POV. I don't have to really fuck with, like, because the one of them was with Juan Miguel and Brett that made the other Hollywood movie. This the one that came out at the same time as Hamilton.
Yeah.
But that whole panel was really dope because Childish was a part of it. Issa was a part of it. It was a real eclectic group. But the group that I sent you were the Hollywood execs. So the exec from Netflix, the exec from Amazon Studios, from Paramount, from Disney, Disney, and Warner. And to watch them spar, bruh, like, because you could tell there's respect, but white people especially do this, like, snarky sort of, like, undertone jab shit. Mm-hmm. How they were giving it up to Netflix, bruh, and, like, how he was just on it. Whoo. It's some of the best, like, just fly on the wall shit, right? Because you get to see how Netflix just fucked all of them up, and they all had to rethink what they thought they knew, you know? Because everything, and they say it time and time again. That's what it was so impressive, is how candid they were about
CEOs.
Yeah,
or like the CEOs of each one of
each one of those companies having a discussion about the shit that they greenlight and what they don't greenlight, why they greenlight it. And the moderator tried to get bruh from Amazon to break down what their metrics of success are, and he can't. He can't give that up, because the second they give that up, everything's fucked. Because they're
for Netflix.
For Netflix,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And because basically they opened it up immediately with, like, how can a script like The Irishman exist around Hollywood for as long as it did, no one touch it, and Netflix is like, bet, we'll give y'all that budget, and we'll give you the 3 hours running time. They're literally the only place that film could exist in today, solely because of the budget. And I'm sorry, not even solely because of the budget, but more so because of the fucking running time. No one wanted to touch that movie because of the running time. And then they're like, yo, how did you gauge that? And he gave some bullshit answer that kind of like pacified him, but it ain't the real answer. And ultimately the real answer is like, they're taking an L on everything in the name of creativity. And he's like, that's what
the long ball.
Yeah.
Like long run.
Yeah. And that was
the anticipation is that there will be no cable.
Yeah,
so and like we're all gonna be battling on streaming, and nigga, we gonna get that. We gonna get the market share.
And he was not giving that up.
No, fuck that. I wouldn't either. Nigga, fuck that shit.
He wasn't giving that up. He was just like, yeah. So, yeah. Originally, the film and television divisions were built out of because again, it was just acquiring license for them initially, and then it was like, creatives had the idea of taking their content directly to them, and they were and that whole division was built on the strength of like, yo, we're not going to be a slave to the numbers.
That's dope.
Wait, what? And so when you hear the other execs talk, all they can talk about is the numbers, because they're like, yo, we gotta open at this. Who pick something as simple as picking your release date fucks up everything.
Which is crazy, because I would think that a company that doesn't have to worry whatsoever about numbers would be Disney. I don't know why the hell they would be on the side of worrying so much about numbers.
They break it down in that shit, G.
What is this?
So they're running out of IP, and they're running out of catalog. You can only remake the same movie so many times.
True.
So now they're like, okay.
So they did, but you mean like they didn't invest in the next gen, basically?
They just didn't make any new shit. They're literally remaking their IP over and over again. Like
that was like what Pixar was for, and like what well, fuck, I think it's only Pixar now that I think about it, because I'm trying to think of.
There's another division.
And then like when
Disney.
you have like Marvel, but Marvel timed out, and then they're now on the next group of that. But like that's two subgenres of what Disney is.
But those are the things that are carrying that company right now.
Got you.
And so they talk about.
So they don't have like anything. Right now they're just acquiring. So like they're
just making live action Aladdin. They'll keep doing that till they run out. Then
like they acquired what was that? Star Trek or Star Wars. Yeah. Okay, got you. Okay.
So then it's like, what do you do after that? And to watch them have that conversation, I don't know. It was a money thing, but it was more of a like, and this is back to my YouTube point, was just like, oh, what these regulations are sort of forcing people in, because they had to have a whole discussion around the Joker. some of the rhetoric in the Joker and the narrative, and like how much debate was in there about even releasing that film because of how it tested and what it was called. It wasn't going to cause violence. I forget the movie that was parallel to that was being tested and run at the same time. I forget what movie it was, and they couldn't put it out.
Was it the movie that finally got released?
What is it?
Where with like remember the election people are hunting people? Like it's like with either the Democrats or Republicans and they're hunting humans.
Oh, the Hunted?
Yeah, because the Hunted was supposed to come out.
I don't think it's
the Hunted is cold. Boy.
And then
like
they pushed that date back
that.
because it was getting close to release date, and then all the execs were like, "Wait a minute, we might need to."
Is that the one with the school shooting shit? It was whatever it was happened at the same time as one of the school shootings, and they were like, "Nah, this is insensitive," so they scrapped it the week of the release, fam. Like not in the middle of the production, like they were done and didn't put it out.
I think I remember that too. I don't think
And
it
it
was.
was the
I don't
same
think
time
it was
as
the Hunter for that one.
Yeah,
but I can't remember what the name of that. I do know what you're talking about though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I highly recommend.
I just shared the link in
Appreciate it.
because I need to watch it too.
Yeah.
Because yesterday
I was like, bro, what it like? Just we all film buffs for different reasons, but have that one thing is in common, and to watch watch it be such a tactful conversation that expounds well beyond creativity, but how they can still make it feel like creativity is at the forefront driving that is fascinating, and we're talking about billions of revenue. So to even think that this the regulations that are being had via social media platforms don't somehow impact Hollywood is laughable. And we're seeing that just based on the coverage of COVID. Like if the rhetoric is remotely distasteful, not in alignment with whomever, that content is being taken down, or at the very least being buried, and to think that they don't have the capabilities of that is laughable as well too. I don't know. I've had an interesting time like tracking that shit.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely thought that Disney Plus, when it came out, it had a shelf life. Just because I was like, how long is people gonna be stuck on nostalgia?
Yeah.
Like you can only watch.
You did say that. Yeah.
Like how much nostalgic things can you watch? You know what I mean? Like before long, it's gonna get tiring. Like your childhood isn't as amazing as you thought it was. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be fixated on it for a second, and you be like, nigga, this was really the type of time I was on at this time. Nigga, this shit is trash. Yeah. And then you're gonna be on to the next thing. So that was interesting though. But I really gotta see that.
Please watch that.
For me, with like the whole Disney Plus thing, I thought that was them like, okay, we can try a whole bunch of shit and just put it out on Disney Plus, but they're not even doing that. And I'm like, it's kind of a waste of space at this point, because this would be your perfect time to
try new shit,
make what the fuck ever you can and throw it out. And it's not like you guys don't got the money to do it.
It's got to make them nervous though, like the Netflix, the Apple Plus, Hulu, Amazon, like the way they giving it up, and you only need a few of them to catch for real.
Exactly.
Like to breaking the internet has value. Like what that formula looks like, who knows? But we know like Tiger King literally going viral and trending for the first fucking 3 weeks of the pandemic held an enormous value for Netflix.
Completely.
What that means and what it generates to, I'm fascinated to know. And bro wasn't giving it up. That's what let me know he was on to some shit, because he's so cool in there, and his presence make them and the woman from Amazon too, like them two in that room, you could tell that they don't want them in there, just because of how they get
how they get down.
The creators got all the power, so I'm not taking none of my content to them to Paramount, Warner, Disney first. I'm going straight to Amazon or Netflix.
Was anybody from Apple Plus in there?
No.
Because I like what they're starting to do.
I do
now.
too.
No,
Like
Apple Plus is. I had that idea too. Like that Apple Plus, the way that they started off their platform it was important.
They came out with some bangers, like some shit that you wouldn't see.
But it was only like 5. Bro.
Yeah.
Like they had a whole platform. They only had 5 things, and they said we're gonna give you that first year for free if you're a part of Apple already.
Yeah.
And just understand that
We got shit
and then as you watch those shows, you're like, damn, there's money behind this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got a chance to see people really go through with their full thought process. Because like M. Night Shyamalan in that
The Servant.
in The Servant, you know what I mean? Like that's a full idea that has multiple ways that it can go.
that
you know
don't
what I
go
mean?
through the channels of Hollywood studios. Are like, you got to take this out. You got to take that out.
There's no way the way that show started that any other platform would allow that to even be. Probably Netflix, but like for it to be, because it started so like mysterious and slow that it's not allowed on like on a channel.
You got
And he said,
you got metrics to hit. It's got to go.
He didn't say who, but he said 4 like major stations had that before.
Passed. Just they couldn't.
They passed,
and that's,
like fast too, and they were like, and he said one of them passed just strictly off of it being me.
Yeah.
And
That's real.
like he was like honest about it. He was like, one straight up they passed as soon as they heard it was me, and he was like, the other 3 like said down there like, oh, we don't think this would be good, we don't think this would be good, the time we're in, you know, this, but yeah,
it's pretty fucking crazy that and now to see what Netflix's top 10 is doing to the algorithm as a whole. Like shit that has no business getting watched is getting watched because they're going, hey, this is what the world is in on. You want to be in on this conversation? It's the equivalent of trending. You know how many things that have trended that I would have never known about? I just had to click on because it was trending. Mm-hmm. That's a fucking brilliant sort of way to just hack into people.
For sure.
Like, yo, here it's enough. There's enough people organically engaging with this. Even if it ain't organic, we're gonna give it a little boost and say that it's trending so it could get. Bro, what the fuck was I watching John Henry for? No, y'all laughing. I want my life back, man.
No, Monty was really hot about that, bro. Like he sent that to us, man. It was like, damn. I didn't even know what he was talking about. He just started talking about John Henry, and I was thinking it was the wrestler this entire time. And then like he started like breaking it down, like what it actually was. And I was like, huh? And he showed me, and then he gave us a clip, and I was like, "Oh hell no!"
Oh, see, I didn't even get the clip. I'm lucky.
This nigga took his sleeves off, yo.
Don't look at me ever like that again.
Don't have breakaway sleeves on your crew neck, fam. We gotta fight,
bro. It's the way he took his sleeve off because like you could tell like it was supposed to break away a lot smoother, but like it got caught, so then he had to put a little extra force the next time.
Real strength.
Yeah, bro. It's like, no, this is bad. And then later on, we got to see Luda's jaw pause, and they were just like, "Bro, what is going on, man?"
I need.
I still want to know what that does.
You gonna be so underwhelmed by
like,
how
is it something like it absorbs a punch?
No, L.
That was what I was thinking.
The fact that y'all went that far with it is like, damn, it should go that far. No, when you see why he has
it ain't got no point to it.
Dog, it's gonna make y'all so upset.
Don't tell me he got like a secret key in there and he pulled it out and pulled out the key.
It's not even that intricate. If it was that intricate, it would be like, oh, that's what's up. Oh man, it's so bad. It's so bad. You have to see. It's like, you know when people say that, it's never really that bad. No, this is that bad. Cause you go, at no point during production, nobody went, this is trash.
You just come right.
No, seriously.
But what gives you that answer if anybody thinks that? When you watch when James Franco remade The Room.
Oh yeah.
And remember everybody on set was like, he's fucking her belly button. Is anybody gonna say nothing? Nah, he pays the bills, so you just gotta let it go.
So it's people out here standing on weeks of production just letting trash happen to them. I don't have it in me, fam. Like, name a trash album that we all collectively go, that album is trash. Can you name one off the top of your head? Recent one too. Don't dig back in the archives. No, you could at least find something on there. Like, right? Or am I bugging?
Yeah. Like if it made it to like me being able to hear it, because Damn.
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
know. I don't know like any trash albums. Like,
Who lets this movie get all the way to Netflix top 10 to where I'm watching it at home going, I wouldn't make this. I've never made a film before, but I wouldn't make this and give it to nobody.
Okay, but my question is,
bro, make it and give it to someone.
That's crazy.
was it in the top 10 because so many people were talking about how trash it is?
Yes.
That's what I was
See, so then
No. That's what I'm saying. Like it really is a brilliant concept.
Either way,
the
as
concept
long as
of
it
trend-
has traction, bro, it doesn't matter which
It
one it
don't-
is. But like, it's
Yeah.
like
engagement is engagement.
Exactly.
We can leverage that. However, if they're talking about how bad it is, how great it is, as long as they're talking about it. So
also Netflix will never be broke because like it has unlimited proof of concept.
facts.
Unlimited. Like motherfuckers don't continuously invest in that shit if need be. Like they're not gonna let that shit go under.
Never. You'd be a fool to.
Bro.
Netflix came and broke the entire industry.
Bro, shut that shit down.
Netflix, like one day we'll
it's
talk
crazy
about it for
that
real.
started off as like mailing the discs out.
It's Napster. Imagine if Napster got to reap its benefits from like laying the groundwork of streaming. Where is Napster Brad? Does anybody know?
I don't know. He got his bread off of Facebook and did.
Oh, he did. Oh, he kicked him. Oh, bet. Okay. I feel vindicated for him. I thought
I think they paid him off for switching it from their Facebook to Facebook. Like,
wasn't he also Napster and MySpace or just Napster? No, he's just Napster.
not just Napster.
Yeah.
It's Napster.
so he got some bread somewhere else. He didn't completely miss on this wave of digital.
No, I think he was a part of the Facebook
Yeah.
initial wave.
That's what's up. Okay, because I was worried.
And then they like whooped him out of it or whatever, but I think he still got a piece of something out of that though.
Because Napster bro getting whooped out of digital money is the equivalent of the NCAA letting players get paid and like Jalen and them banners still ain't up in fucking Michigan, bro. Like that's crazy. The fact that Zion is gonna have to go to court behind some shit right now when the NCAA is like, all right, fuck it, we can't do nothing about it no more, is goofy. It's just silly. So Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, everybody, fam need a royalty check for the rest of his life.
I still don't understand that lawsuit.
Which one?
The one against Zion.
Oh, I do.
Well, where'd they get $100 million from?
$100 million in like, because what's the Jordan contract for?
Probably around something like that, like probably like 80 or something.
Yeah, so it's like it's how they're selling it is like potential earnings and endorsements for the first 3 years or whatever, or some silly shit like that, or whatever, however long his terms would have been. But then also while they're just trying to.
But he didn't go with the ones that are in like he's in trouble for. I think that wasn't it just a matter of like he was like. He was getting wooed by all these different shoe companies, and his money was, and his family was receiving money. So where'd they get the $100 million from if he went with one group and that group wasn't even on the docket for who was won initially?
How it always works. The people cut deals on your behalf so that the money can get moved around the way that it gets moved around, and in the interim, Zion ends up not choosing either of those brands, and so fucks up everybody's money in the process. Oh, and by the way, you no longer representing me either. So not only did I not go with who you set me up to go with, I'm also releasing you as my agent. Now you all the way fucked up because you're missing out on extreme revenue being associated with my name.
Gotcha.
So this is more of a hurt feelings. You dumped me shit.
Vengeful, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And the fact that no one's covering it like that is also sad too. Is also really sad.
Makeups to breakups.
Makeups to break and business is sick. Ew. Fuck. Ew. Fuck. Staying with the regulation conversation, Lex, you put something in the text. Inquiring whether words still have consequences.
Yeah.
I think I understand what you mean, but I need more context just so I can give my answer correctly, I guess.
I guess now the reason I think about that is because we were probably all of us growing up, everybody used to say it to you, like older people in your family, mom, dad, OGs that you're around, like, nigga, your words got consequences. You say this to somebody, you probably gonna have to fight. Or somebody say this to you,
I see. Okay.
you need to slap them.
Yeah.
And now, even just due to the fact of social media, or even the fact of how people are nowadays, you can get off saying about anything, and the most people do is yell, and then that's the end of it. Like, there's no repercussions for anything.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, do you guys still think that words have consequences?
You got it. You want to go?
That's good. That's a great question. Because I deal with it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, folks just saying whatever the hell they want to say. Like, and I think it usually comes down to people. People have this interesting level of intelligence about them. Like, not everybody. People aren't just plain dumb. You know what I mean? Like, they have moments of, like, sparks of intelligence. And usually it's centered around particular situations. So they tend to get their shit off in moments that they know that there is no repercussion for it. So, like, if somebody's on the job, there's barely any repercussion for some shit I need to get off right now, so I'm going to get it off. Or, like, if there's when dealing with family, you kind of get your shit off because you feel like there's a certain level of love there. So I'm just trying to wrap my brain around that part of it. But I think a separate part from this, because Monty could probably answer that question, because I really don't know. But the separate part from that one, I think, is that words should still have, like, a certain level of integrity to them. So, like, people should still, when they speak, it should still mean something. And where it's endangered on that is that people just saying whatever without actually meaning the shit that they say, or tricking themselves into meaning the shit that they say, has, in my experience, thrown off a level of listening to them. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to listen to a person for a certain period of time when you know that they just feeding you some bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's my separate conversation portion to this. But yeah, I might need to talk on the other one though. I don't know.
Damn. So, for whatever reason, as the world overextends to the space of there not being any repercussions for certain shit you say, I, for whatever reason, have gone the opposite direction and overextending and, like, trying to, like, sort of process and be considerate of the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Right.
I don't know why I do that shit. Like, try to offset or make up for the world. Like, I don't get me wrong, I'm well beyond that whole God complex thing and thinking I can, like, change shit for real. Like, I'm beyond that. So this isn't quite the same. Yeah. This is just me paying into the concept of, like, I don't want to perpetuate that shit at all. It's so funny. I was telling Kate and Janae the other night about the realization I came to between the difference between my dad's side of the family and my mom's side of the family. My dad, the way they were giving their love language was to say the meanest shit to each other. And for whatever reason, my whole life, people have confided in me in a way that they don't confide with the rest of the group. So it puts me in this awkward position where I got this information. So the shit that you saying to this person is the last thing that they need to hear because they closer to, like, hurting someone or hurting themselves. So please don't talk to them like that. Right. So it kind of gives me this thing of being like hella like, oh man, you just sensitive. No, I just know that this motherfucker's like suicidal damn near, and you're in everything that they're thinking about, you're making fun of them for. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And then also seeing niggas, like, fight for real. Like, that'll change you. Like, seeing niggas get the shit slapped out of them saying some shit. Real life. It is like, there's no part of me that thinks the internet, the talk, that yelling into a screen is cool. There is zero parts of me. And so, but what is unfair is to call that a young niggas generation thing, because I've been seeing some old niggas yelling in their phone lately. Yeah. And that looks, for whatever reason, the young niggas I can kind of just, like, dismiss. I can get the image out of my head really fast. I cannot get the image out of my head of, like, the OGs we respect yelling into their front camera, fam. That shit is burned in my brain. If Hove was on a front camera talking about all you niggas don't want no smoke, I'm done. I'm done forever.
Bro, please move like Hov. Please move like Kendrick. Please move like J. Cole. These people are in this position for a reason. My nigga.
We just
You don't see them like I just looked at Dot's page the other day. This nigga has 3 posts and they all centered around his next thing. Like ain't nothing to do with nothing. That bro, nothing is on there, bro. So I'm like, this shit is nuts because like it's just a level of, for one, peace in yourself. Cause like you do gotta keep a certain level of space between yourself and like everybody else, because I always think that I'm not around people 24/7.
Yeah. So
I don't know what the fuck they be on.
Yeah.
So whatever bullshit they present in front of me, I need to know the full scope of it before my reaction comes into play.
Facts.
Like I don't get people jumping to conclusions on every little thing when it comes to when somebody's saying something to them. I need to know, and I get a lot of flack for that type of shit. I need to know all sides of the story before
for being tactful,
bro. Like I need to know that shit because like I only know one way. You know what I mean?
Here,
like
bro. That's the one thing I refuse to do.
Yeah.
Is to be bullied into not getting all the information, bro. We just like that's
So
always
important.
been a thing.
So
It's
important.
always been a thing. Like, yo, what took place here? Like what happened for real? Like we got to have a conversation about that. Then we can move into something else. But just jumping out the window, I ain't never been that.
That shit nuts.
And everybody wants you to say something. Say something for what? So you can be in on the conversation. So you can look like you give a shit. So you can look like you care. Like that don't because you're rushing to say something don't mean that you care for real. It just means that you care about being in on the conversation and driving up your engagement and your metrics. It's all rooted in selfishness. And that's back to your point. Like, do words have consequences? Joe and Rory and them were talking about this week, like, yo, is there a such thing as falling off? And based on their conversation about that shit, I'm fully convinced now that everything is centered in and around fame. Because nobody's talking about talent. Mm-hmm. The talented people have zero worries of falling off. The talented people and the people that are genuinely here for the sake of expression have are in zero danger of ever falling off.
Doesn't cross their mind.
But when you are limited and you're leveraging personality that's not rooted in like talent for real, then you got to worry about falling off. So then you got to be on top of everything. You got to be you're oversaturated. People get tired of you. Oh, and in the process, we gonna pick your skeletons apart, your flaws. We're here for it now because you've overextended yourself. We have too much access to you. Go be a fucking person. Go spend time with your family. Go really figure some shit out, and then come back and deliver a project. I love the artists that get low. Pause. That sounds so weird. But when you don't see Ava DuVernay all the time. I don't see Issa all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Tanahashi all the time.
She killed that D-Smoke video.
Bodied that shit.
Yeah.
Bodied it. I don't see, but Bomani does a show twice a week for ESPN and one for his own podcast. I don't see him all the time. We don't see Dot. We just said we don't see Dot. We don't see Kendrick. We don't see Cole.
I don't even know if Dot is a person right now. Like I don't know where that nigga at, bro.
living.
I mean, but your living don't even get caught by like paparazzi, bro.
Right.
Like nobody even know where bro.
That shit
just turned into an essence. Just
bro, that shit's impressive,
shit is
bro. Like that
intentional.
level of disappearing is impressive.
That shit intentional, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Completely.
none of us are Kendrick. And between ordering everything I need online and see him and pulling up to my niggas and go and recording, nigga, you don't have to see me if I don't want you
folks
to.
Ain't gonna see me for a minute. Yeah.
At all. So it is easy to get low. You gotta want to be. Hove be low. He Hove.
That is another low. Yeah, that's true.
As for as much shit as Ye be popping, Ye be low. That's crazy to me.
And Ye low with like the most popular wife that you can have.
And still low. So that's how I know. That's how I know niggas just be wanting to be seen and wanting to be in the mix of shit. So I ain't falling for that shit no more. Like niggas just be wanting to be seen for real. Like, oh yeah.
I think I saw it was hella funny. I think that what's her name? one of the Jenners or whatever was doing a TikTok thing or whatever the hell she was doing. And then this man Travis just happened to walk past the end, and like all the conversations about the fact that Travis just walked past while she was trying to shoot this video and caught her off guard. It was like, bro, that's another nigga that be low, bro.
Just be
like,
low.
like folks be excited to be like, when he just walked past the screen.
You're
bro,
Travis fucking Scott, and niggas don't ever see you,
bro. Just saw a silhouette of Travis walk past, bro. Just saw a braid.
Just
see him.
just saw a braid pass by. Like, bro, was that Travis?
But how have we not universally adopted that as the formula for success? Get low, go work on your craft, and then
because there's a lot of space fillers, bro. Like everybody else is being a space filler. Jesus. So like those are the people that's talking hella loud and having hella convos about this shit. They tend to, they're filling a lot of space, and then everybody's happy again when they see a great act come back to the forefront and do what they do, and then they're gonna disappear again. But I was thinking about this, like, when you're great at something, folks give you that credit at that moment, and then when it's off, it's just like it's almost like an afterthought. You know what I mean? Like. But you get constant attention when you do shit that just ain't up to par or something that's like polarizing that nobody give a shit about.
So being
it's about,
fucked up it keeps you like
like the fame part of things. If you want to be famous, my nigga, just do some shit that is not up to par.
Make a John.
And you gonna be famous as fuck.
Make a John Henry,
bro. Make a John Henry, bro. You gonna be famous as fuck for that week, bro. Like if that's what your approach is.
My nigga said for that week. That's crazy.
That's all people need right now is that week, bro.
That's it. I need a week. You know what I can do? You know what I can leverage a week into? Okay. Then, with considering all of that, how much of High Off Life did y'all get through? And why you wait? Don't ever giggle on the mic. Don't ever giggle.
That was just letting air.
Future dropped a new album, man.
Oh my
god. I think I might be a stan. I got mad when L texted me and was slandering the GOAT, and then I had to listen to Parks and Joe slander the GOAT, and I was getting tight, and I was like, all right. It's just certain niggas that let them get their shit off. Like, just let them be that. He's committed to it. He does it really fucking great.
He's very committed to it.
He's super committed to just saying anything. She belonged in the streets, fam. Nigga, you just had a paternity test come out. She belonged to the streets cannot be your answer. I fuck with Future, bro. Because they don't make niggas like that no more. It's niggas like him, but ain't never been no nigga like him to document it, though. He documenting that shit.
I got you.
All right, bro. I'm with you.
I'm here.
I was going to say, every generation needs a Rick James.
And he out there
doing it.
Bruh, Future spun. How you even get to that state of mind is different. It's one thing to think it. It's another thing to live it. And then it's another thing to think it, live it, and then record it on wax, nigga, for people to hear. Oh, you with the shit for real.
And give it to the public.
And then,
at
so one more
every
step.
chance you get. Not just every once in a while. I'm talking about any opportunity. Nigga, you gotta get it.
Bruh. It's lockdown. He not doing no press. He ain't doing no shows. So to promote the album, the paternity test comes out the week of. This nigga responds, she belonged to the streets. What? Oh, and then the album come out. And then goes gold in minutes. This nigga, give him a cake right now. That's Jesus, son. The fact that y'all don't see this, who goes gold in 13 minutes, man? Only Future. L not here for that all.
Bro. I'm like, get your shit off, bro.
I can't even fully commit to this.
Nah, Body was going in, bro. He had valid points.
I can't even fully commit to this nonsense.
Life
bro.
is good, man.
Okay, do we even want to talk about the music? Did you listen to the whole thing or just part of it?
Nah, I listened to it. I mean, there were some tracks on there. There was what 21 tracks. Yeah. I gave him a solid 5. So out of 21, I gave him 5.
That's about right.
Yeah,
that's about right.
I mean, that's really what Future is meant for. So like, it was a lot of tracks, but then again, I'm not. That really isn't for me. But the 5 that I got is bangers, so I'll definitely take those. And shout out to Future.
That's a hell of a if we're 5 for 21. If that's a hoop night, if you got to the free throw line, we're like 5 for 21.
That's like a James Harden playoff game.
That's crazy. Because it is though.
It's a solid night for him, man.
Because it is though, but it's like 5 for 21, and you like but the 5 are like you banged on a nigga chest to chest. You hit a couple threes in a nigga face, and you got to the free throw line that night with a couple of those fillers. So you still hovering right around.
Future is the hip hop
James Harden.
James Harden.
That's where we at.
That's for sure what he is. Like, it's all fluff. Like, it's just hella surface handles.
Damn.
Like, I'm gonna hit you with some new moves. I'm gonna hit you with some step backs.
See,
probably break some rules and shit.
I always get fucked up because I always get put in the insane position of like over defending James Harden and over defending Future. So you're right.
Because a lot of parallels, man.
Can't nobody tell. Salute to B-Walk. We went to watch because
B-Walk will chase somebody down about a James Harden debate. I can't spill no.
I think it's closer to. I think it's. We'll talk about it. I think we
switch it up.
No, not switch it up. I just think it's a different conversation.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Got it. But getting to be courtside to watch that nigga is like hearing Future in headphones and like hearing what he's saying.
Okay, now you're saying. Did you just hear what he
we there, man. We there.
It's like the good headphones though.
It's like the good headphones.
With 100 shooters, when that nigga said, "Fuck the bitch, broke her heart, she think we still dating." I was like, he didn't say that on the hook. That's the hook of the song. Mm-hmm. No. Y'all not hearing me, bruh. Whenever 100 shooters come on, the whole crowd sings, "Fuck the bitch, broke her heart, she think we still dating."
Bro, the public soaks that shit up.
So
like that line right there will disgrace everybody that he's already fucked with, so they're gonna be angry. But that already is working on the next woman because she's attracted to that shit.
Yep.
It's fucking flawless. It's flawless. I know people that have like that surface type of game that does really well with introductions. So like, nigga, I'm gonna be amazing for each person introduction wise. So that's where the baby part comes into play. But the surface part, nigga, yes, nigga, I got you for like the very beginning. And then you're gonna get very tired of this same exact act. Like I'm a four trick pony. I got 4 trick pony, bro. Like, hey, this shit is amazing initially, bro. Like it's an attraction to it initially. I get it. I fuck with it. But yes, you might be right. It might be like courtside with the headphones on.
Yo, all right, bro. It's good.
I agree.
that shit was lit,
but
bro.
The way you broke it down, it's.
I don't know. I just don't know why. So somebody that could be that committed. Mm-hmm. Cause it's like at some point niggas get tired of that and like cave and don't want to be that guy anymore. He's not letting it go.
Nah, bro. It feeds so many results. Like you just have to get tired of the game at some point.
So because of
that nigga's not tired.
Because of the results, it's back. It feels like he ain't to blame.
Oh no, this is fully game. Like, bro, you have to just want to be able to play the game forever.
Yeah.
Like some people just want to play the game forever. Yeah. Like if you want to play the game forever, bro, then you just keep reinventing yourself inside the game, or you just keep playing the exact same way.
Facts.
Until the game changes and forces you out.
Well, since we forcing niggas out, what's up with this Nelly disrespect?
I'm on that wagon. So you go.
Oh
ahead.
Shit, you too?
I had a hard time listening to Nelly right now. I had a hard time. Cause you know how title drops to us. Cause I didn't watch the actual battle. I watched like how we just watched right there, like the beginning piece or whatever. But
You listen to the playlist?
I listened to the playlist, and it was just like I listened to part of the playlist. I'm not listening to any of these playlists fully.
They get it wrong. Okay, let me double check.
Is that not like what was played in the thing?
No. Definitely, but I'm just saying for
Sometimes,
the joints that I would pick. Let's see.
Okay,
see, sometimes I think even with the battles, like I wonder if Swiss.
See, they got this wrong, man.
What's that?
The Nelly joints that they picked.
I thought it was the actual tracks.
That's not the ones that Nelly picked.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm just saying they get it wrong every time. For me, like it's
like the ones that they like the artist picks the wrong ones.
Man.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
that shit is and routinely they'll get it wrong. You know when I realized that the artists ain't really tapped in with who fuck with who, when Juvie didn't know how much 400 Degrees means to the song. He was like, man, I wanted that to be the next single, but wouldn't nobody listen to me? So I was like, damn, maybe people didn't fuck with it like that. I was like, Juvie, that's your best song ever. Like, I know what Back That Ass Up does. I know what Han does, but I've never been anywhere where that fucking intro will come on and the whole party crowd don't go nuts.
especially the first few lines.
You see me? What?
And talk rap.
See that? Yeah, that shit go.
But it's like it's just like it saddens me because it's like, damn, can you be that removed to not know that people fuck with the B-sides like that? Like, that's why Hove doing that B-sides concert was a big deal.
Important.
Niggas need to do B-side runs of their shows to find out who fuck with them for real, because niggas be sleeping on their own B-sides because they're getting caught up in this. And
I remember that's what I was saying. I was like, I hope that I told you I can't tell you a Nelly song to say my life besides Air Force Ones, but I was hoping that at least on Luda's side that he would pick all of the songs that are his top 20.
Yeah.
Like not what you think the public is fucking with. And where Luda messed up at was like he kept playing hella songs that he's featured on.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like you got hella shit. You got hella shit in your discography.
Back for the first time, he could have just ran that whole album.
Bro. Back for the first time,
that shit is
chicken and beer, bro. You got shit, bro. Like my name, what? I didn't understand any of their options besides Ho, and I knew they was gonna do like that tip drill and what's name back and forth.
Yeah, tip drill and pussy popping, like
pussy popping.
But that brought back the uncut conversations. Ooh, man, uncut. BET, thank you. BET,
yeah, there was no way to do that in 2020. I'm glad we got that out of our system.
Yeah, we give BET a lot of shit.
They would not allow that shit today.
We give BET a whole lot of shit.
You got to sign in just to watch the tip drill video. Damn. I'd let you know.
Yeah.
How old were y'all when that came out? You remember?
I have no clue.
I don't remember either. But young enough for that to still make a fucking impact, though.
For sure. Yeah. I was definitely, I think I want to say, wasn't that high school?
Yeah, it was high school for me.
Like being in high school, so yeah.
Whew. I'm sweating thinking about that shit.
The other thing is, I'm surprised nobody talks about David Banner as a producer.
Why is that though? I have a hilarious David Banner story.
Hey, he made La La La, so I'm good.
David, so and one, this is the first year they go on tour. They come to Coliseum, we get tickets. The day before though, I wanted to go get something from the mall, like a white tee or something. And me and moms go to the mall, we're walking out, and it's this nigga in this van. I don't not like a pimp. What was before like a pimp? Maybe it was like a pimp.
It was probably like a pimp.
Like a pimp.
It probably was like a pimp. Whatever it was, he had one that was ringing off, but I hadn't seen him before.
It was like a pimp.
It was probably like a pimp.
Because the video took a while to come out.
Man, this nigga's at Hilltop Mall, Dolo, promoting for the N1 game. Like, y'all, I'm going to be here, and then after that, I'll pull up wherever y'all want me to pull up. This nigga is in this fucking van. The next day we go to the game, it's the same nigga from the mall, This nigga runs, jumps to grab the rim, pulls himself up, and performs on the rim at the halftime of the N1 game. And nobody knew who he was until that like a pimp dropped and was like, this shit going crazy. And then I mean that I think that's after like trap music and shit. But for whatever reason,
so you trying to say David Banner had bounce? Is that what you trying to slip in?
I can't.
Why they trying to stick his bounce in real quick? You know niggas that show up to the gym with a full crowd and you just run up and touch the rim and shit. Just gotta show off like didn't do it a ball.
No
like,
ball.
Just went up there and touched that
grabbing the rim.
Yeah, bro.
That or slap the backboard hella hard.
In jeans and Timbs.
That nigga said so. You said David Banner got bounced.
That's what you trying to tell us.
Hell, I'm not fucking with you, bro. I'm not. You sick. I thought I was sick. You really might be sick. Oh man. Okay. We got to the Luda and shit because I wanted to talk about the.
John Henry.
No, I don't want to ever talk about John Henry again. But the conspiracy or the conversation in and around Luda dissing Mac Dre. Went resurfaced this weekend, and I don't think I'd ever heard the story, but at the beginning of the Get Back video, when he's pissing in the urinal, and the dude is asking him hella questions in the urinal, apparently that's based off of true encounter with Mac Dre, and Luda comes out and is like, "Yo, nigga, I ain't dissing no legend, whoop de whoop," but in real time, it all kind of lines up. I don't know.
What was that? Was it when Mac Dre passed or Mac Dre was here?
No, he's still around. He was. No, let's do the math on that. Get Back is what year? Get back. You don't know me like that.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
What year?
Because
Mac passed in 2004. So that's right. They're close.
Yeah,
they're really close.
Yeah, right.
They might even be in the same year. Get Back.
It's possible. But what was the diss stemming from? It was
a real like literally an encounter similar to that. Like he ran up on bruh in the bathroom and was like pressing him about the music and shit.
2004.
Get Back was 2004?
Yeah.
So the same fucking year.
So he was pressing about the music, like what? Like something they said in the music, or to distribute the music?
Have you seen the beginning of the Get Back video? It's
I don't think I remember.
Yeah, it's like bruh's in there. They're pissing in the urinals next to each other, and he's like, "Yo, man, put me on. Listen to my tape." Doing that type of shit, like just trying to engage in a real conversation.
Got it.
At the urinal, and it's like based off the outfit and everything. It's like you could see it. It don't really feel like a stretch. But Luda saying that's not the case. He would never diss a legend, all the shit. But I've known niggas alive for way less.
True.
So,
and I don't put that past Luda, depending on like where Luda was in 2004.
Yeah.
If he was like, because I'm pretty sure at that point, Get Back,
yeah, when
he was a huge star.
Yeah, he was a star. When Get Back came out, he was a star.
Yeah, so he's a huge star. So I don't put that past, especially back then. Like, that was just like the perfect moment for niggas just to stunt. Like, if niggas don't know who the fuck you are, like just naturally at that moment, like, people gotta understand. Like, yeah, Mac Dre had a lot of respect out here, and like and people like started having respect or whatever further out. But his ultimate respect happened after his death. Like, before that, like I fucked with Mac Dre, but I don't think it was like something where like it was a universal thing. Like once he passed, yes, there was a universal respect for Mac Dre.
And that's the hard thing that no one's willing to admit. Is like a lot of people that pass, and this even applies to Nip, as sad as it sounds.
Completely.
They get immortalized and get celebrated posthumously, but prior to their national sort of recognition isn't what it is when they were alive, like that. And Whack 100, like he was mad disrespectful in how he was delivering what he was trying to say, but ultimately I thought
that's the timing.
The timing was terrible, and in a lot of the other shit that he contaminated with his message.
Yeah.
But I hope that the state, his family, this is Nip that I'm talking about,
It's a wild video, by the way.
They also would have a similar conversation in around how few people really were aware of Nip's ascension and his climb. Like we knew because we were like hella
It was there
tapped
the
in
entire time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we saw all of it, you know. So it to be honest, as a fan, the Nip thing really made me uncomfortable. It made me extremely uncomfortable with like how many people showed reverence and everything, but didn't carry the same energy. And the same with Mac Dre. I remember that. I remember KMEL. They played Mac Dre for days on the radio after he died. I don't remember hearing Mac Dre on the radio prior to that, bro. And if I'm wrong, somebody please check me on it. But I remember that in real time, being like, this is crazy. Niggas got to die to get support from their home turf.
That's when you get immortalized, bro. Like they don't be doing that shit when you hear at all. Like it's messed up to say, but it's only a few people that get that while they're here. You got the shit. Even Jay-Z be getting his shit. You got probably Beyonce that get that while she here. Man, I don't know who else is getting that shit.
Man, it is. I guess it is asking. No, that's not fair. It's not asking a lot of people. People are shitty. I'll say that.
People are just selfish, bro. Like they're just about themselves. So like,
even in death, though,
they be trying to get bro, because the person ain't here no more. Fuck, nigga, you ain't here no more, bro. I'm about to use I'm about to leverage you, my nigga. Like you're not here.
Wow,
ain't nothing you can say about it. And then nobody could tell me that I wasn't before this. They don't know me like that. They gonna know me now though, because we all got something in common after your death, bro.
R.I.P. to Mac Dre.
For sure.
R.I.P. Nip.
I broke my seat listening to Mac Dre a few times.
Man, that
and I broke my mom's seat too.
When I found the Joni Mitchell sample of "There's a Song for You,"
oh my god,
I shed a tear. Keep it a buck with y'all. But that was my Mac Dre. That was, for whatever reason, I couldn't hear it before you played me that song. And then I asked Elle, I was like, yo, can you start that over? And I don't know if you remember that night. We were in Grandma's Honda, and all the way from Hercules back to the east, we listened to that song on repeat. Because for whatever reason, how the sample was chopped, and how he was sliding. And I only wanted, like, everybody else got off. Like, the other verses are tight as fuck. But his verse on that shit, I just couldn't get enough. And so fast forward to, like, probably like 10 years later, my grandfather passed. It was more than 10 years after that. It was maybe right around 10 years later. Grandpa passed. I inherited all of his record collection. That Joni Mitchell. It's Joni Mitchell live at like Hollywood Bowl or some shit like that. That song's on there, and the way she starts it, oh my god! And then you can hear where they grab the sample from. Oh man. I listen to it to this day just to play it and go, this is some of the most beautiful shit. Yeah. Did Psycho do that?
I don't know if he did that one.
I think Psycho might have done that. R.I.P. another legend too.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
That shit hurt.
It's about time for her to drop. This is like a her time.
It's always a her time.
But it's like good her time. Like, the motherfucker's in the house right now.
Yeah.
She could probably get the next wave of babies made, probably.
Facts. That's an absolute fact. We're
you know what's sick with it is knowing exactly when a baby was made.
Jodeci.
I was watching. No, this is even this is even sicker. I was watching not Instagram lives, but like the stories, and I saw this one young lady go on a trip with this dude, right? And how the trip was going, I was like, oh, he not pulling out.
What? Who are you today?
I told you it was about to be sick. I told you it was about to be sick.
He said, "Nah, it's sicker than that." He said, based off how the trip was going, he ain't pulling out.
Bro,
that's
based on how the trip was going. I said this shit. This was like 3 months ago, bro. And best believe, nigga, what happened was, nigga, I just saw the picture, just saw the bump in the little shoes in the video. I mean, in the photo. And I was like, yep, I can track back because my mind was sick at the moment and was like, yep, that's not happening.
Man.
For sure not pulling out. But that was my only little take, my bad. Carry on, guys.
I don't know I don't know how to pivot from that.
Carry on, fellas.
Jeremy Piven has been spotted again. Do we care? I do. Ari Gold. Bring Ari Gold back, man. Jeremy Piven. I just hadn't seen my man in forever.
Where you find him at?
He popped up on some random sort of like some random sort of thing where they were interviewing a bunch of people, and the fact that he was one of the people they interviewed, I was like, oh, he's getting back. He's back for real, because they wouldn't have let him be on this if nobody was fucking with him still. So
it's about time, man.
How you
it shouldn't have been that way in the first
how
place.
you exile Ari Gold though? That's what's confusing.
That's a cold
like,
game,
that's
man.
the one person that felt like he was Teflon.
They don't really love you, bro.
They don't really love you.
They don't really love
They
you.
don't really love you.
Damn, maybe that's why folks don't be themselves, huh? Because if they were themselves, nigga, they'd get Jerry Piven.
Man, they don't
Like
really.
it's possible.
They don't
Because
really.
he was being Ari Gold and he got taken out
He
for
got
being
treated,
Ari
yeah,
Gold.
for being Ari, for the character.
But
that
people
we
loved Ari Gold.
They don't love you for real.
That's sick with it, bro.
All it comes down to is they can't love you for real.
They can't love you for real, man.
Yeah. We sports. What are we thinking about? It just being in danger to being canceled in general.
I don't see it. I don't see the opening. I'm been trying.
You're not with it. No fans allowed. You're not here for it.
I mean, no fans allowed is the only way that they can do it because it's gonna take a while for us to get back to like normalcy.
The NBA turned it into a fans only is crazy.
You think they'll still do it in the stadiums if it's no fans, or will they just find a community
You
center?
might,
And
as
be
well
like,
you might as well go to 24 and just play, nigga. You just say that overhead,
Bro, they about to go to the to those gyms you got like in Houston or whatever that they got just a fan running in the corner,
Man.
hella hot. Nah, but I just don't see it because I'm trying to figure out, given the amount of time that it's gonna take for us to eventually get all of the testing procedures in place. And then after that, they're going it's gonna take a while for us to even get a vaccine. So we got way too long to go before we can actually get crowds of people together. So these people, they basically just got to get the talent going first and have them enter the arenas and start playing again.
Yeah.
Which is gonna take a little bit away. So they have to figure out a way to now market it to people that are at the house. And I think in this amount of time, the reason why sports have worked to this point is that it doesn't take a break. So it always has something for you to take your to capture your mind. I think in this break right here, I think people are starting to figure out other avenues. I think this is a time where the leading thing is gonna be content driven stuff. I think that's more important on the scale of things than sports.
Does this make sports leagues rethink how they're giving it up? It can't just be, and you've seen it. With the 30 ESPN, how great the 30 for 30s do, how great Hard Knocks does on these are ratings we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Don't you think the NBA should pivot in more to a universal content driven space where they like All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Cap, they should bring them into the NBA fold and use them as another source of content and conversation and engagement. The Shop with Brian, they should be in partnership with these athletes now because of what the value that the content has outside of the game, because the game is gone right now, and all we got to stay close are these type of shows that are doing great right now. Completely. Even with having to make up shit to talk about, where All the Smoke wins is that they're interviewing people we want to hear from. That PG County, It's in the Water documentary is getting ready to come out. I can't wait to watch that shit. In response to them, me and you need to talk because we need to do one of those about the Bay. Because PG County is just essentially doing a documentary of how small that county is and how many hoopers that came out of there.
Oh, God.
And Quinn Cook was 5 niggas on his team went pro. Him, Shelby, Victor Oladipo, and the Grant brothers. all win league.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah. But it's the fact that it's that's just interesting to think about it. A year with no sports. I don't see it happening. I think it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be like, fuck that.
Yeah, I think they should definitely like transition.
NFL's not fucking with you niggas. Like they're coming. NFL will be.
No, NFL's coming no matter what.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't care.
They ain't got no time for none of that shit. It's gonna be interesting because nobody can practice, but like they can practice on their own, but they can't get together. But I don't know what the product's gonna look like.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking more so like when you try to put these things together for the sporting world, maybe. I don't know if did you watch like the WWE past season of things, like how they did the league this time around.
I watched WrestleMania, whatever that was, when it was
no,
empty.
not the actual WWE. I mean like the football thing.
Oh,
like,
the XFL.
The XFL.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch this season.
Okay, so XFL had an interesting idea of like having the players actually be mic'd during the action.
Mm-hmm.
So like throughout the game you have different star players or whatever you want to have be mic'd. You have the coaches mic'd, and then the interaction, it felt like it was more interactive with the viewer, which I would think is probably the best route for how you introduce the sporting world again, because you're not gonna have a fan there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have that. There's gonna be wild shit that's gonna be said, but you still have to have a way to interact with the viewer if you're going to have them be interested. Because I don't think people want to just hear squeaks on the floor. I mean, I will watch that shit. I played basketball, but like just the common person just shooting a shit and passing time don't give a shit about just people shooting a ball into a basket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
They would a lot of the world wouldn't be able to handle the shit that gets said on a basketball court, bro.
oh no, that's some wild shit that gets said. But like, I mean, but they're gonna have to pitch it to the, like when they have their meetings with the NBA PA and like the NFL PA and all that stuff like that. I'm pretty sure part of those meetings has to be something in that realm, and them as the amount of money that you're making, you're gonna fall back into the space of being a product, and if that is something that's pushed, then you're just gonna have to watch the things that you say.
Facts.
And there's probably gonna be fines for the shit that you say. It's gonna take a lot away from it, but it's gonna be more interactive. We're gonna start super regulation, but they gotta figure out a way to get the product back into where they need to get it to. Yeah. Same thing with our jobs, man. Like with the work, they have to get get people back in there. That's one of the topics. We're not even getting back in there. They can stay at home, but like just getting work going.
I mean, work from home is here.
No, working from home is definitely.
But Vegas is back open.
Yeah, Vegas about to be wild. Vegas about to be wild because, bro, I don't know how the hell you supposed to go to Vegas without being able to interact with folks.
Shit.
Like you gotta wait.
Shit.
Bro, they was talking about for the tables and like, bro, when you sit down at a table, right, you basically have plexiglass around you in individual seats, and then in front of the dealer. Yeah, and then in front of the dealer.
Who's going to do that?
That's what I'm saying. Like Vegas might if that's how they gonna reintroduce Vegas, then niggas ain't going to that shit.
For what? I can play that on my phone.
Bro, what are you talking about? Part of this game is me standing up and almost getting kicked out of here by spitting over to the next person while I'm hella drunk.
Jeez. That's unforgivable. It's completely unforgivable.
I don't know, man. And then if you ain't gonna have Tao open, or you ain't gonna have none of these clubs open, bro, I can't watch DJ Khaled, bro, do one of his skits on the stage. I don't want to see Khaled do nothing. I don't want to see Khaled do shit. I can't watch Khaled do his skits.
in the club yelling out social distancing.
Oh yeah, you know he on top of that part.
It's a movement. Nigga, no it's not.
6 feet.
Oh
6
my
feet.
gosh.
Hey, love 6 feet.
Hey, love. Don't say love. Don't say love 6 feet. Ever. Y'all got anything else, man? I love doing the show. Y'all tight, right? We stumble on shit and ramble and add like. It's weird sending a list to y'all because then like 10 topics get just added on the strength of just like niggas gonna stumble into something.
Oh, for sure. We just need the initial just so that we know when we pop up here it ain't about to be full freestyle because. Like man, I'll just say something.
This nigga L said based off of how they stories was looking on vacation, I knew he wasn't pulling out.
Bro, I could tell, man. You just get a feeling, man. You just get a feeling that this might be the time.
Oh man,
I don't know if they got that feeling, but I saw it from my angle, from my vantage point.
You saw it for him?
Yeah, from my vantage point, I was like, yeah, for sure.
He knew too.
Huh? He knew.
He knew.
As soon as he saw some of them outfits,
She might not know, but
he knew.
bro.
Oh man.
I think anybody that goes ziplining should know that shit. Nigga just put his life on the line.
Okay. This nigga spun the fuck out. I don't know what just happened, but ziplining and not pulling out, never correlated those, but now I can't get out of my head.
Bro, you zipline over some trees, bro.
If you ziplining, you're not pulling out for sure.
Bro,
That's
that's an activity for you not to, bro. Like, you just really put your life on the line. Because I know for damn sure I am never going to be bungee jumping or jumping out of a plane. My feet stay on the ground. But I might zipline.
You're zipline? You not skydiving?
Fuck no.
Would you skydive, Lex?
yeah, I think I would.
I thought I would skydive before, but nah. I mean, I would definitely skydive before I bungee jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have zero desire to bungee jump.
Zero whatsoever.
Zero.
None.
I have this fear, like, I feel like I'm too tall to bungee jump. I don't care from what distance I'm bungee jumping from. I just think I'm too tall. Because I always got this, like, fear of being attached to the cord. And when I jump, my wrist hitting the bottom of where the fuck it is. Like, if you were to, like, basically not, like, some people, if they jump from something.
Oh, you mean bungee jump like one of them? I guess that is how you bungee jump. I don't know why.
Yeah, you got to bungee jump like off a bridge or like a cliff or whatever fuck you bungee jump off. I don't know what you bungee jump off, but I just got this fear. Like, most people will probably have a fear where when you jump, you might snap or you might just hit the ground or something like that. No, I just think about just my limbs hitting it and then me just dangling with like just like shit, just like this, bro. Like, I look wild after this. I gotta get a cast on both arms, bro. Nobody want a cast on both arms.
That's how I know L is crazy. That's how I know he's crazy. He's like, I got a fear of just hit my wrist,
bro. Nobody want to.
It's bungee jumping, my nigga. Your fear is your wrist,
my nigga. Nobody want to double cast, bro. Like, my nigga, pick one.
As I'm sitting here, I just picture L in the cast. Like,
exactly, like, bro, that shit wild, bro.
We potting today though. But he's still potting.
Bro, that shit ain't that shit wild?
Gee, you wild for that being your thought.
Bro. Because now I gotta tell that story and every single time it's some shit that I did to myself. My nigga, I knew damn well I wasn't supposed to jump from no cliff.
So what's the hang up with the plane? With skydiving?
Skydiving is fine. Skydiving is fine. I just always think about like if the shoe don't come out, like there's little just small things that could possibly take place that don't go well. You know what I mean? And then also it's something about like somebody being on my back. Like, I would like to do my own shoot, and I ain't got no experience.
You don't want a man on your back?
Nah, bro, it's too close, bro.
You can get a woman and
whisper,
I feel like that's
whispering in your ear. Hey, pull the lever.
Nah,
hey,
bro, that's
way too close.
That
Where
shit,
you want me to be at?
That shit way too intimate, bro. And then if you got a beard, bro, your beard on my neck, my nigga.
L sick.
Bro, that shit way too intimate, bro. I'm good.
Bungee jumping being way too intimate is crazy.
It is. Like, think about how intimate it is, man. Like, y'all do 1, 2, 3 together out the plane.
Y'all do.
Bro, that connection is nuts, man.
Been on the roll of saying
him whispering in your ear,
shit.
you ready for this?
Bro, you feel me? Like,
hey, don't say you ready for this to me.
All right, how about now? Because we're running out of time. We can always get back on the plane. And secretly you calling me a bitch. So I got to.
No,
bro,
did he say that?
Bro, like, but in my head you did. So now we got to. So now we jump. And now we just up here, bro. Like, we got to be up here for a certain period of time when you being attached to my back. That's way too close, my nigga.
Yeah, I don't know. I get why people do it. I don't see me doing it. I'm good. I go back and forth though. I'll be like, I ain't tripping, but then I'm like, nah, that's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably do it one day. I probably ain't tripping one day, but I for sure will never bungee jump though. I just don't see the point. I don't get it.
Oh man.
You saying something about Fauci or something?
Or Dr. Fauci or whatever.
Yeah.
Fam might be Dr. Giggles. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's funny.
He might be Dr. Giggles. I ain't seen Dr. Giggles in dumbass long, but now I want to. Is
It's
it up
been a
anywhere?
while,
Is it
man.
up anywhere?
Probably. You could probably find it on Amazon. Amazon got everything.
I want to watch it.
If not Amazon, you could for sure type it into Google and watch like the
chopped version of
the chop fast forwarded version. Because I found like the Guyver. I've been trying to look for that shit for the longest, and I finally found it. And it was like the chopped and screwed version that only show like it runs through the first half of the movie and then plays the credits and then runs through the movie again. So I thought it was like a full. Go ahead, man.
Nah, Fauci's he's got this sinister sort of look to him. And then when you start seeing the old footage of him and like how long he's been around and the shit he's been trying to spew and how long he's been sort of dismissed as like a kook. And now he's sort of guiding the world on how to maneuver through COVID and the pandemic. I just think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting sort of play, and how many people are getting their information directly from him. And so it's just a thought I had. It's like, how sinister is this for real? Like, what are we able to look at? What are we able to process and sort of consider on our own right now? And so many, I don't know. It's a.
That's interesting. I saw the White House just blamed the CDC for the amount of time they took to administer the first test. So that's the reason why it broke out. So the level of finger pointing that's happening at the top right now. That's hilarious.
That's the part. It's just like all right. It's more conducive and to finger point right now. It's like that's the opposite of what we should be doing. But all right, bet.
Which comes to the point like Trump was onto something, man. Like he tapped into people's biggest fears, and people's biggest fears is to not get fired across the board. Like people do everything to not get fired, including just go along with it. Like even when you think that shit wrong, just go along with it and see how long you can keep your job. I was thinking about that shit.
People's biggest fears is to not get fired.
Bro, like everybody is just trying not to get fired. Like their entire lives is just trying not to get fired, bro. I got you just take on more responsibility. I got more people to think about, more people that depend on me. Just trying not to get fired.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on today and just not get fired.
Damn.
Yeah. I thought about that like on the way over here too, because I was like, because it just hit my phone that the White House is blaming the CDC, so I was just like, damn. Because I was thinking, I was like, fuck, in there, like I'm just worried about the fact that everybody is able to keep their job when something like this happens. Yeah. Like, how the hell does that take place when you have all these people that were in on the idea of firing that group of people that's supposed to look out for a pandemic, and then something like this happens where it damages the entire economy, and then thinking about like, oh, so who benefits from that? You know what I mean? Because it had to be according to, like, for something to happen on this large of a scale where everybody is affected. Yeah. You're sacrificing something in order to get something else. Yeah. Like you have to see something like that coming and be okay with the outcome of it. Because
you have casualties. It's war. It's just warfare.
For sure.
It's warfare.
So with that being said, like when it does come out that that's the case, people gotta go. And how the hell is people still here?
Yeah. Yeah. No. The concept that only the strong survive, like that not being talked about, ever really, but especially right now, is probably the most concerning part of this all. Is like we know the health ramifications that exist and like the plights that exist in particular communities. We know that that's a thing. It's kind of reinforced and put in our face when we talk about the obesity and the diabetes and the hypertension and the things that plague our community specifically, and then just education, just like basic education in general. Like these variables haven't changed because fucking COVID is here, my nigga. These areas are still extremely underserved. The limited amount of access still exists. The limited amount of resources still exist, and so yeah, of course that's where you would see it. And so to have so many people with pre-existing ailments be wrapped up into their cause of death being COVID-19 it's tricky. It's extremely tricky, and just how and this is something that has happened forever. The FBI and their crime reports and how things get like it forever. The books have been cooked. So to act like that's not a thing right now. To watch for these industries to essentially be broken and some of them survive and what they'll be able to do on the strength of being broken. Like the niggas are really trying to convince you to be concerned about the airport industry. What? Nigga, they've been whooping us forever. You want me to be concerned? You want me to be concerned about them as an industry right now? Are you kidding me? They're going to be fine.
Hey, okay.
They're going to be fine, fam. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm sorry.
Ain't nobody gonna let airports fail.
The forecasting that Bezos will be a trillionaire by 2023. I thought we were facing a recession. What? You want to tell me that now? What's going on for real? You know, and
that's nuts.
To continuously be dismissed as, oh, you conspiracy theory, y'all don't know, man. I'm just not stupid, and and that's not to call anyone else stupid. I just don't. I don't want to be told how to live. I don't want to be forced to live in fear, and it's as simple as that. Like all the other regulations that I'm knowingly buying into. We release a show on YouTube. We do all that shit. I'm active on like all that shit. I'm of sound mind buying into that. The last thing I'm gonna let you do is of sound mind have me buy into being a fucking prisoner in the house. Gee, I'm just it's sorry. It can't.
So no.
There's too many other like life threatening things I come into contact with every day where those stakes are exceptionally higher. To die from. The fact that we still be getting in cars every day is fucking crazy. Drinking alcohol is stupid. Driving after drinking being on the road knowing that there's drunk. It's a whole bunch of shit. Opioids, like it's all here, and we all actively buy in and agree to the concept of casualties of these things that we consume daily. Alcohol is on the shelf on the free market. Tobacco, opioids that are prescribed. Like fucking they had to reset our grandmother's husband's medicine because the shit was fucking them up. These are all things that we actively buy into that have elements and repercussions on the back end of it. And now we here and you like, yo, this is what it is. Deal with it. And you don't want nobody to go to work?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think let's put this in the topics, but there's for sure not an incentive for them going back to a location.
Yeah.
There's zero incentive for a company to have you go back to a location. Like they're making
all that overhead.
They would make so much off of people being at the house, and it's not just like the tracking portion of things. Tracking is a big part of that actually. My bad.
Yeah.
But also like the fact that I've seen some of the people who are working from home right now, and their calendar with what did they have to do daily, like the amount of timestamps they have on what they're doing daily. Bro, they're working way harder than they ever worked when when they're at a location.
You're never off,
bro. Ever.
And that was the thing that's funny to me because a lot of people think that, oh, we're winning, we get to work from home, and I'm like, no, you guys are using your electric now. Well, we don't have to drive to work. That don't matter. Now you're there on your time, and now I hear tons of people talking about, well, I had to clock out at this time, but there were still things that were on my list that I needed to do.
I did it.
So now I work 2 hours for free.
Giving up free overtime, nigga. Willingly. You're on the clock, around the clock.
But since you're at home, you don't even compute.
You don't even compute it.
You
got your sweats on. You ain't tripping for real. You ain't had to really get dressed or nothing like that. Yeah. So you're not computing that you worked well over your 8 hours, your 10 hours, your 12 for some people. And all it cost them was a laptop.
On somebody else shit. Yeah, don't even tell someone else.
And then the other fucked up thing is people who feel that pressure, like, oh, I didn't get done with this, but since I'm working from home, I'm just gonna do it now off the clock.
Yeah, that's another thing. It taps into the individuals that are like, the overachievers and blah blah blah, like the people that once again don't want to get fired, stuff like that. Like,
and these are great people we're talking
amazing
about.
people.
This is not a knock on
not at
people.
all. This is talking about company mentality. Like the idea that when things are starting to move towards normalcy again, you may not actually have the normalcy that you remember.
Facts.
It's possible that something else can get inserted where we're just not going to have y'all go back to a specific location. If it's not like a product base where people have to stop in to pick it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that work at the Apple Store will be back at the Apple Store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we're not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, for sure, tech companies, there's really not a need for a tech company to have a location. They don't need it. The only thing they've needed before was to make sure that you were there to do it.
And even when they didn't need it, even when like the beginning of it, it was always just a stamp of like, oh, we lit for real.
Right.
The ping pong tables and like you don't need
the atmosphere. The atmosphere. Yeah.
It's like, it's fascinating. I don't how we got here. Like that was pretty tight because I didn't see that coming at all. I knew it was on the list, but it's like, fuck, when you really start to break it down the way y'all just broke it down like that, that's interesting. For real. It's hard not to consider that as a thoughtful person. It's hard to just dismiss that as like, oh, that's some bullshit. Nah, there's something there.
Completely.
We create a new threshold, like the gas, for an example. The war in Iraq is the reason that we're gonna hike the gas prices up, and so now whenever it gets down to $2.99, we all lose our mind and go, "Yo, gas mad cheap right now." We should not be paying $2.99 a gallon, bro. We should not be paying upwards of $4 a gallon before all of sound mind. That's crazy. And all it would take us for all us to be like, "Fuck it, we not going nowhere." And guess what? Like the free market is sick. Cause we free for real, but we don't know. Like at any time, like it just would take us being like fuck it collectively, but we can't collectively agree on nothing because all of our circumstances are so dramatically different.
Yeah.
Like some people haven't eaten during this because like it's been so rough.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't ask them to be like no, they can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. It truly is like the classism. This is classism at its best, where we get to see how non-united we can be because of how the structure of classism. Like before we even get to race and shit, it's just like economically we are in different stratospheres, so we can't even agree upon some simple basic shit.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, we stumbled across that one.
Something random just popped in my head as you two were talking. You guys notice that of lately, even when something happens to a victim, they automatically ask the question, well, what did the victim do? Like, when the dude got shot in his house, when the lady walked into his house and shot him. Well, what did he do? How did he approach her?
Oh no, they only ask that for us. They don't. That shit don't apply to nobody else. The EMT that got killed in her home. It's like, well, what was she into for real?
Yeah.
Like the Ahmad the Ahmad things coming. Like, yo, he broke into it. Like, if y'all gonna sit there and try to justify that for murder, for a modern day lynching, you got it. Then at that point, it ain't shit I can say if you're gonna go, well, he broke into a house, so we killed him. Excuse me.
Well, it's even more crazy now that the dude who videotaped everything, he came out, did his little interview, and he said, "Oh, I never gave those guys any of that security footage. I never talked to them about that security footage." So their whole statement is just,
"Oh no, it's too no." So dude that's filming is not the owner of who has the cameras inside the house. Like, that's the shit. They didn't have that footage, so it wouldn't be, oh, we saw that, so we know. No. So trying to even begin to confuse it's sick, bro. It's sick.
You mean like the police didn't have that footage, or they didn't release that footage?
No, the two cats that hopped in their truck to go track bro down and shoot him didn't have that footage.
Oh, okay.
Never saw it. But
that
was a statement. That was.
Yeah.
Oh, their statement was what was on the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
We did this because he did this. It's like, how did y'all know?
Got it. Oh, okay.
It's sickening, man. It's sickening.
They never got picked up, huh? Like, they just got picked up?
Yeah.
Like, before that, they didn't get picked, so they had a long time to, like, get their story right.
They had a month and some change.
Yeah.
If not even
longer. It happened
longer.
In February.
Yeah.
And we're May.
So so almost 2 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They was at the house, young jocking it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I just, for the record, I love that we can do a show. I hope that you'll have us back. I hope that we aren't canceled this week because these two niggas decided to go off the deep end.
Completely rogue. Completely rogue. This had nothing to do with body on this.
I'm sorry.
I hope you'll have us back. On that note, it's been another episode of Meet the Brave. We'll see y'all next week.
Love.
Yes.